Hi. Home organizing is not a he problem. It's not a she problem. It's a we problem. I'm Julie Brooks, owner of Peaceful Place Home and Office Organizers. We're a team of professional organizers based in Massachusetts on beautiful Cape Cod and the South Shore. A very common issue that I see with clients is they call me and they say, how do I get my husband to agree to hire an organizer? How can I get my wife to get on board with getting our home organized? Well, since I run across this so much, I wanted to talk about it a little bit today. I'm sitting in my organizing van named Vanna, by the way. So here's what happens. There's really two tools for hopefully getting your spouse on board or your partner on board for getting your home organized. And the first tool is compassion. The second one is action. I'm going to talk about compassion in this video. Too often what I see is the blame game. The husband brings me down to the basement and says, you know what? None of this stuff is mine. It's such a mess. It all belongs to her mother. And, she won't even let me look at it. Never mind touch it. She brings me out to the garage and says, you know what? Nothing in here is mine. This is all his tools and stuff. He never uses any of it. So he said, she said, blame game. We get nowhere, right? So when I'm talking about compassion, I mean that we're going to do something different than what we've been doing that hasn't been working for the last 20 years. What hasn't been working is nagging, controlling, complaining, pointing fingers and blaming. The way compassion works is think about how you would feel if you're the one that wants to get organized. How would you feel if your partner came in and said, you know what? I don't want you to touch any of the clothes in your closet. I don't want you to get rid of anything, and I want it to stay disorganized. Your first reaction would be like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's my stuff. I want to get it organized. Well, that's how they feel when you come up to them and say, we got to get rid of all this stuff. I don't know why you're hanging on to it, and why can't you just get organized? Here's where the compassion comes in. Is it possible, maybe, that Mr. Tough Guy possibly has some emotions around his deceased father's boxes that are in the basement? Is that possible? He's probably not admitting that. He may go down there and say, yeah, I'm gonna go through those, and then guess what? He throws his back out or decides he has to go to Home Depot all of a sudden. Maybe there's room for compassion and allowing him to acknowledge that and process things in his own time, in his own way. Maybe there's room for compassion about Miss Superwoman, who has met her match when it comes to her own closet, doesn't want to admit defeat. So having compassion is really the first step towards solving the problem together as a couple. Thanks very much.